Yeah. Haha. And away we go. It's the Cosmic Watch on this Friday night. I'm Franklin, your astrologer. And the way to get a private reading with me is to find the contact number and the schedule below in the description. Check out our other free material here on YouTube, things like the horoscopes, the tarot lessons, and compatibility videos. And if you like what you see, please hit thumbs up because it really does make a difference. And thanks for your support. And welcome into the Cosmic Watch on this our first program in Cancer. We've just moved into a whole new part of the year that affects everyone. The fact that we have now gone into the Cancer time of the year, whenever the birthdays are coming up, this means that we're all affected by during this time period. We're all affected by the Cancer outlook, the way that Cancer people see things. Their ruling planet is the moon, right? Because they themselves, Cancer people, are known to be so emotional, so living in their emotional side and able to access that emotional side. And that is what you're going to be able to do yourself during this time, during the Cancer part of the year. It's very much like the moon sign affecting everyone. We're in Virgo tonight. We just moved into Virgo, and Virgo is all about that feeling that we're all getting now tonight, starting right now, as this Virgo moon comes up. We're all going to be very concerned about what we put into our bodies and our minds. The thing about Virgo, the house of health, right, sixth house, it's all about what you put in, what you eat and drink, and goes through your digestive tract, but also what you see, what you feel, what you're taking in to be processed inside of you. This is what's really coming upon all of us tonight. And as we are now in Cancer, and if you are born on this date, you are a Cancer with Virgo as your rising sign. That's what was coming up on the horizon as you were born today. So this is you're going to be a very fourth house sort of a soul. And if you're born today on what was it, 6/23 of 2023, it adds up to 18. And so numerologically, you're a 1 plus 8 equals 9. 9, your overall number. That means you're a leader, you're a pathfinder, you're the one who not only jumps out there and takes that new path, but you light the way for other people. You show others how it's done with grace, with using your logic and your emotion together. And there you have the Cancer influence. And the 189, of course, the one It's all about doing things and being very active and being proactive and getting out there and doing things. And the eight is about money and power. And that all depends on what you've done in your previous lives. And do you trust yourself enough to accept the good things that others want to give you? Do you accept that you're going to do the right thing with them? When you learn to trust yourself as an eight, that's when things really start to flow into your life. When you start using them for the right things, when you don't flitter away the good things that come into your life. Now we'll be here for an hour in the live stream, and as always, we open the door to the subscribers of the channel, and when they have questions, they're welcome to get into our chat room, and it's been a wonderful thing for me to be able to exchange ideas, because the chat room works both ways, and it also works for those in the chat room who also can chat among themselves. And that's what astrology is all about, is to show us what we have in common with each other. As different as we are, there's still these common traits that bring us together as a community, as to seek what really matters to us, and that is that all lives are full, and not just of material things, of dignity and truth. These are the only things that really matter in the human life here on earth. Do you have dignity? Do you have truth for everyone? There's the rub, right? Can you be generous enough to give dignity and truth to your enemies? Lord knows they're out there for each and every one of us. Maybe that's why there's 8 billion people on the planet, to give every one of us our nemesis, you might say. And that's how you have to consider the people who are, say, your competitors. You have to thank them for pushing you to give your best. You wouldn't have worked that hard. You wouldn't have had the success that you had, and wouldn't have been as satisfied if you hadn't have had your competitors pushing you, if you hadn't have had your enemies on the other side. So in this life, what do you think? What do you think would be the purpose of your life here on this earth? It's got to be whatever you consider to be the hardest thing in the world to do. It couldn't possibly be the easiest. If your life purpose was an easy job, you'd have already had it done, and you'd have gone on to your next life. The fact is, you're still here, still being tested, still having trials and troubles, new ones every single day, to give you a reason to be here, to manifest good things instead of vengeful things. So you have a choice in everything that ever comes into your life. You are writing your life right now. The only thing that the Akashic records can't be changed, the only part of it is the past. That's written in stone. You've already written that. You've lived that past. But the future is wide open. The only you're writing it now. You are the author who has free will. You are the one who chooses to create the universe that you live in. Oh man, in astrology, it's all about bringing everyone together and showing us our common traits. In um, on the other side of the world, when the people in who created the Chinese version of astrology, and there is, yes, they were looking at the same stars, interpreting it a little bit differently. They uh, they Chinese astrology begins with a fable, as it would, right? And not an Aesop. It's a much more current fable because it is about the Buddha. The Buddha existed only 300 years before the time of Jesus. So when Chinese astrology refers to the Buddha, that's a pretty recent thing. And the fable is that the Buddha wanted to show that animals also were all equal. And he called all the animals in, and that's why Chinese astrology is, from year of the rat, year of the tiger. It's all about the animals to show that they are. Now, joining us in the chat room is Kika. Kika saying hi, and Kika, have you been with us before? I don't recognize the name. Would you like to ask a question, or would you rather that I just turn a card for you and see what I get? And Kika says yes, yes. So let's look into the unknown out there. Kika says, "Oh, yes, okay. Well, that I do remember you from last week. Yes. And so let's see what's been going on in your past week. What was it that we looked at last week? Yes, I was here. Yes, yes, yes. So what what I see is that when you were here before, you heard the truth, and you have you're back for more. You want to find out more. Did we do your birth number last week? I can't remember if we found out what your birth number and what your astrology sign are. Um, See, this is okay. So let me have your date of birth. All of the numbers we'll add up there. Sun sign is Sagittarius, that fire sign. Oh, you love to travel, don't you? You love that long distance travel. You can't get enough of it. That's that Sagittarius all over. Okay, so if we had 2, 4, 9, 19, 25, 34, a 3, 4, 7. Kika, 7 is the blessed number. It truly is. 7 in your lifetime. You're going to have the opportunity to find God, find the unseen world, find your guides, and be able to communicate with them. That's what the 7 is all about. And 3, 4, then your add up numbers. 3 is about expressing what's in your heart, not holding it in. Letting people know what you want And boy, when you tell people, okay, and okay, so we're um, uh, okay, so talking about the man in the life now, 327 of, okay, so 3 and 10, 13 and 20, 21, and then another 10, so 31. Okay, so he's a 314. 4, boy. See, what you have in common is the 3, right? Both of you are able to express to each other what you truly feel. That is a wonderful relationship. The 7 of you, that's the blessed path, and the 4 for him, his path, is having to take every step in order. Never do step number 3 until you've got 1 and 2 done. Anytime he tries to do things out of order, tries to skip ahead, skip over the boring parts of life, it always bites him. It's going to come back and get him, and he has to go back and start over again. So you plus him, the 2 of you together, a relationship, 7 plus 4 is 11. So it's a 2 relationship, and that's like fire and oxygen. I mean, that's about as physical a relationship and as you can have. The problem sometimes is it burns a little too brightly. You can, if you're not together, um, it's a trust issue, right? So, do you see us getting back together? Are you going to actually be able at some point to get back together again? Not for good. You will get back together, yes, but there's still something that will eventually come between you again. It's about who's in charge, who's who's calling the shots, and that seems to be like a competition that it shouldn't be. So if you allow things to continue just the way they are now, yes, you can get back together, but it won't work out in the long term. So you have to change things. There would have to be a change in that. And Kiki says, when are they going? How soon is that door going to reopen? He seems to be having a real battle of regret right now, wanting to change his direction and from going away from you to coming back towards you. And as you can see, he's been running away from you about as hard as he could. So he's gonna have to slam on the brakes. And boy, changing horses in midstream is not an easy thing to do. But yeah, so when is very soon. This is happening now. He's seen the mistake that he made by losing. So I would say that within a couple of weeks, this is soon. This is not going to go. He's not going to keep going away from you. He's going to turn it around. So you can expect to be able to make the decision. You see, the way you know if someone is supposed to be in your life is whether or not you can forgive them. And so So it's really up to you. And it's strange. Yeah. How think about how people can forgive their own children of anything. It is possible for you to forgive. How's he going to get a hold of me? That's a good question. Good question. So is he going to just show up at your door? Is what you really want to know, right? I would say there's a chance of that. Yeah, of him um, finding a way to cross paths, or maybe coming directly to you there. And Kika says no, there's no way that's going to happen. And it's so it would almost take an act of your guides or his guides, one of the two, to put you back in each other's orbit somehow. Because you're right. The way it is right now, there you're not open to allowing the same mistakes again. So there's going to have to be change. And this is this is what I mean by being able to forgive other people. It's not easy. And if you can't, and very often you can't, that's how you know that your guides are telling you. So he says he doesn't even have the number. Well, if you have any mutual friends, then it should be a possible thing to find that number. And I think that's what I'm seeing here, is that it's going to take a third party to get you two back together. I don't think the two of you are going to be able to sit down face to face this soon. And what he's thinking about right now is is making these changes. So this it may be too soon for you. That's that's the thing about getting together with anyone else on this planet, is it doesn't have to necessarily be for a lifetime. People come through, and Kiki says, coming back. Oh, why is he coming back and wants a divorce? See, that's what has to change. There's there are other factors, but for some reason wanting to completely close it off there. So it's going to take a turn of events, someone someone helping to bridge between the two of you, and that, well, it could be a friend, or um, it could even be someone else coming into your life that changes the way he looks at you. Here's Heather saying good evening, and how are you? And I'm in the back. We'll have. When will I have a good partner? Heather is asking about the future of her relationships. When is the right partner going to come? And coming at the right time is such a big part of it. Think about all the missed connections because it just wasn't the right time. Somebody else was in the way at the time. So when will Heather find a good partner? Ah, it's the partner that you're going to find is being dropped by someone else. The ideal partner for you, Heather, is someone who, if they haven't already, is just about to be dropped from the life that they had, the relationship that they had. So this is going to be you sort of picking up you win. You get to choose what you want. Here's Crazy Coolio saying hi. And listen, Crazy, is do you have a question tonight? What's on your mind? What's happening? Going to propose right now? Wish me luck. Oh, okay. So, Tracy is jumping right out of the room tonight and is going to propose. Oh man. So, uh-huh. There they are. He's proposing, right? They're on opposite sides of the road. I believe she's going to say yes, yes, and join you on your side. Things look very good, very good. And if yeah, Heather, that is just what I was yeah. Heather says congrats to Crazy Man. That's what a thing, what courage it takes to ask someone to share your life. I mean, that's truly when you have found someone who means that much to you. What a wonderful thing. Think about how the odds are against it, with all the people on Earth and with all the comings and goings, that you could cross paths with someone at exactly the right time, and then be able to forgive them of their mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. And that's what you have to go into a relationship knowing, that not only is nobody perfect, but people have a very hard time changing. You most people would rather try and change you than change themselves. In fact, everybody would, and that's why change is so hard, because we make it hard. Change is the only permanent factor in a life. It's what we're all going to experience. It's the thing that we all do together, right? And here is Kushi. Kushi saying hi. Where from, Kushi? Where? What part of the world are you in tonight? It's um, you seem to be looking from, yeah, from India. And yeah, yeah. Uh, these the people around the world look at astrology in very similar ways, but very different ways. Very when we were talking about Chinese earlier, uh, which is really Tibetan. The um, the way that people look at the stars has always been amazingly similar in the ideas that they come up with. And the biggest thing about astrology of any type, anywhere around the world, is how it shows that everyone's the same, that everyone experiences the same emotions, and everyone tries to make logical choices in the same way. And this is why we all help each other. That's what this live stream is all about, to show the similarities as well as the differences that we all have, and how we can all learn from each other. I don't have time in a single life to make every mistake. It's much more convenient to to be in this great modern satellite world where we can watch everybody in the world. If you had time, I guess you could. You can learn from everyone in the world, and know that you are a part of a, a knowledge that's out there, that's within every one of us. Here's Cody saying, "Hey, Cody, what kind of a week have you had? We just came off of that Leo moon, so boy, people have been pushing things very, very hard this week, and now we're just easing into the Virgo moon tonight. I've had a good week." Cody asking how I've been, and it's been a very slow time. The summer solstice, the world has virtually come to a stop. We've tilted as far as we can, and it's going to take a day or two to finally get moving back in the other direction. And the next few days, it's just not likely that anything important is going to happen. It's really a stalled out kind of time of the year. And Cody says, wishing and yeah, this week. And here's Heather saying, my uncle finally had a second liver transplant. Oh man, that finally went through today, but had some complications with the surgery. Very long surgery. Will he come through? Will he come through? Is he's going to be able to astound the doctors? He's going to come through. Yes, he will come through this, because he's going to recover faster than they think he will. So they this is boy, the liver transplants. The king of that is Mickey Mantle, the great baseball player, who I mean, he actually said it. If I'd known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself. And there's pictures of Mantle as a young guy smoking cigarettes in the dugout right during games. Oh man. Cody says we're now in Cancer season, and the first days of summer, and the thing about Cancer and the fourth house is it's all about home and family. This is how you learn to go out into the world, the way Cancers will eventually. It's by having the home, the family, the siblings that you learn from. And Heather says, thank you. Heather, the right now, and with the waxing moon, and this is not the time of the month for quick recoveries. So right at the beginning here, this may move pretty slow for him, but then he's going to come back from this. I mean, to replace an organ like that will give him new life. It will. And what an amazing thing for people to be able to pass organs along to other people. It's an amazing time that we live in. When I'm 73 years old, and I think when I was born, my life expectancy was only about 70, right? So things have changed. Things have gotten better, and it's having hope for a better future that'll make us all get better. That'll make everything get better. Uh, Heather says they were saying it's an hour by hour watch. His heart has stopped twice. Well, I've been there, done that. I've got a scar from here to there. I have open heart surgery where they put you on machines. They turn you off for a while. You're dead. But it's and it's the strangest thing because it's just a darkness. You don't you don't dream, right? Yeah, it's a very strange experience to be gone and then to come back. And Heather says, yes, it really is amazing. And Cody says the emotional season, and that's what Cancer is. Cancer ruled by the moon. Imagine, imagine having the moon be your ruling planet, and it's always just right there. Cancers are very emotional people. They all of their lives, the Cancer people, all of their lives are about connecting with others in common concern to what the entire world does in the time of Cancer is to seek the natural order, to let everybody be who they are, to seek the natural order rather than the violence, the chaos that we have of this imposed order upon us. This is the Cancer emotional time of the year. We all feel it. And Cody says, the first minute stepped on the moon from 1960. What's around Cancer season? Cancer is on. Yes, and it was mathematics that made them do it. It's trajectory of when you shoot and go. So to go to the moon, yes, it was in Cancer. You're right. Um, here's crazy saying, I don't want to get a heart attack. I swear how to say this. It is so hard. Okay, if you think back, crazy is going to propose tonight. Um, and if you've ever done that, you know what uh, what emotions come into play. It's a wonderful thing to find someone who really is who really understands you, and that's what we're all looking for is truly our other half. The person who completes us. And Cody is asking for his reading tonight. Let's see here. Uh, Cody says. Cody, you're receiving love from someone who doesn't really understand what they're offering you. Well, this could be a much younger person. It could be someone that you're going to have to give the facts of life to. And it almost looks like there's an offer being made to you that you can't accept. And boy, does that take willpower. It does. Crazy says easy for 3 seconds and then impossible. Okay. All right. So people in the chat room are giving each other high fives on different things here. And helping each other. Helping each other is what is the reason we're here. Why would there be any other reason for there to be 8 billion people on the planet today? I think it's to learn from each other, to be able to accelerate our learning curve. I mean, we're all here to become enlightened, and I think the reason that we're all still here is that we all have to become enlightened. It's not enough that 90% of us or whatever. It has to be 100%. This is why we have to help each other. This is why we have to, as we climb the mountain, we have to help those below us come on up too. You can't even obstruct the view from below. You want to get out of the way. One of the biggest metaphors of all is the Buddha leading the animals out into daylight, into in the Dalai Lama's country, which is at one time was most of what we know as China today, mainland China. Was Tibet, and a revolution drove the Tibetans into the Himalaya mountains. And they were too powerful. The Dalai Lama in just 50, 60 years ago, maybe a little more, was removed from his homeland. Had to go live in Europe, and then they thought that was going to silence him, and what it did was take him from a monastery to speaking to the world. It was a bad idea. It didn't quite work out the way they thought it was going to. Excuse me. Cody says, I was on another reader yesterday and asked that about what's surprising is going to happen in July the 5th. The day is going to start out normal. And then, boy, well, this is something that a lot of readers are seeing. It's not far away, and it looks as though it's going to be some sort of a reversed natural disaster, and instead of the tsunami coming in off the ocean, there's somehow going to be a flood inland. I mean, a huge, flood. So it's going to come from the mountains down to the sea. This is to bring us all closer together. This is a lot of people are forecasting, are seeing, and my guides are trying to help me get this out. It's there's something very momentous is going to happen in early July, and it's going to affect the entire world. And it's something that there's no way to get ready for. So I think that's very true. And that's why I'm having a hard time getting it out. Cody says something was going to happen to me and the reader. I'm going to have about a girl and two guys fighting. The thing about a huge natural disaster is all of the smaller stories that will ripple out. It will affect everyone. Cody says, ask the reader, hope won't be part of that fight. She said, no, I won't be a part of it. Cody, you're a watcher. You're an onlooker. You're a witness. You that's what you'll be called after this. You'll be a witness. Going ahead, and there's a lot going on around you, but you're going to be there for a reason, to be able to tell the story. So yeah, it's it looks like there it is. Woo. It's around you that this circulates, Cody. But the biggest thing I see is there's no way you can get out of it. There's no backing away. There's no place to hide. This is coming to you. She said, "I'll get clarity from the future." A moment, yeah, clarity of what's happening, why it's happening. So clarity within your own mind of which life you're in right now, and how things how things are really going to come to a conclusion before. But that's a couple of 100 years away. It is. The collapse of what we know, the tearing down of the old institutions. They have to be broken down before they can be rebuilt. Before things come together, but before people really can accept each other as being a part of the world, and as much as they are. And this is the thing that you have to remember when you deal with spirit guides is that your spirit guides tell you what they think you need to hear. They show you what they think you need to see, and they can make you see things. They're even better at shutting your eyes to things, like putting blinders on you, and when you're trying to go somewhere and your mind's on something else, and you drive right past it. You walk right past it. You just totally blank out. It's like it's not there. Your guides can do these things, and your guides, well, I hate to say they have a sense of humor, but they certainly have a sense of the ironic. They very rarely give you what you asked for in the form that you asked for. They're trying to teach. They're trying to guide you. They're guides. That's just what they do. Cody says, I remember learning about reincarnation one of my lives in Asia, and one of the brothers of the Buddha. This is it's the great teaching that we have always had that caused a lot of trouble. Most of the wars that have ever been fought in the world were religious wars. The uh, the thing to remember about the Bible is who wrote it. We know Moses wrote the first 5 books, of the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible. All use, it's the history of Moses, the laws of Moses, but the New Testament, see, the Bible part about Jesus that constructs the New Testament. The first and last chapters are written by John. John, the disciple, John, the John. And John wrote the final book of the Bible, Revelations. He wrote it at a time when the Romans had turned their backs on Christianity, and they were burning churches, and people were being eaten by lions. And what John was writing about in Revelations is actually a letter from his exile that he sent to the churches, and where he was telling them, hold on, everything's going to change. It's only going to take 1,000 years. So what happened 1,000 years later was the Crusades. And the Crusades are what are being described by John in his dream that's in Revelations. It's not the end of the world. It's something that happened 1,000 years ago. Crazy says, just got rejected. Oh, and oh my God. And if you weren't with us earlier in the stream here, Crazy was going to propose tonight, and now saying got a rejection. There's nothing in the future is written in stone, but until you take a chance, until you move, you don't find out. This gives you new information, changes how you look at it. It must have been the right thing to happen. It must not have been in your best interest for them to say yes. I remember, Cody says now, I remember growing up, my mother would read the Bible to me and my little sister every morning. I literally learned how to read. My grandmother taught me how to read from the Bible. You're right. and thought I was going to be a preacher. Boy, that's a load to grow up with. I'll tell you the truth, especially when you know you're not cut out for it. Oh man, I had real religious experiences, and I got all that I wanted, and as a child, it's a very hard thing for a child to figure out. It is religion. Cody says, I remember when I was growing up, Mother, this is Crazy says, unbelievable. I don't want to get in any relationship in the next 3 years. See, Crazy has found a door that is closed. That's all. It's like Edison experimenting with 25,000 different things for a light bulb. He didn't think he had failed. He found what didn't work. That's how you gotta use what comes to you. And I says, sorry, couldn't just want to be friends. And yeah. See, this is this is one of the real problems with video relationships is separating fact from fantasy. It's it's a hard thing to do. Yeah, yeah. One point. Ray says, "I'll be on later." Yeah, well, Wi-Fi is not good. Cody says, "She told me I could be a preacher." Say that, and either. By too crazy. My my family. Um, my father is, was the black sheep of the family, man. I mean, woo. And he was the one who had supposedly going to be a preacher, and it really messed things up. So it was like I paid for that. Yeah, yeah. I I guess I've come close to actually preaching, and what stops me is the fact that I have learned that God speaks to everyone, and God has a different personal relationship with everyone. You don't need a priest or a pope or a preacher to tell you what God told them to tell you, and I've never bought that. Uh, I think God is a very personal relationship that everyone can make what they want it to be. Remember, God comes to you in the image you're going to trust most. God comes to you looking like you. This is what created all the prejudice in the world. This is why men and women each think God's a man or a woman, because they saw it. The angel that came to them was a particular color, it was a particular gender, it was a particular age to make you, in particular, trust that spirit that came to you. Of course, everyone is the same. In the eyes of God, God plays no favorites. Why would God favor one human being over another? I mean, come on, maybe an angel over another, but angels came first. they, they knew what they were. They knew what they were getting into when they brought humans around. Cody says that's why we've always got up around. Yeah, 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 and this is the family. I think this is really what astrology is all about, to bring together and show everyone that they have similar characteristics, they have similar problems, and they can find similar solutions. We can help each other, and we'll do this again next week, same time, same place, and also let me remind you that we do thank all of the participants in our show tonight. And remember to hit the thumbs up button to show your support. I'm Franklin. This is the Cosmic Watch, and we will get together again next week. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here.